Hello, it's me again, the buyer, and we are back in automation with a little bit of a live challenge I did a few days ago. 17 brave contestants entered a random build challenge where I randomly generated some constraints and some stats to be scored, and then we had 90 minutes of time to build a car. These are the excellent creations from the community and from myself, and if you want to check out how I built mine, there's the link to the live stream popping up in the top right now. Unfortunately, the live stream was cut short a little bit by a heavy migraine attack. Actually, I wanted to do all of the scoring and so on within that live stream, but I had to cancel and bail out. But that's the reason why you get this short video now. We are doing the scoring now, we are rating the cars and take the top 3 for a very quick spin in BeamNG. If you want to join such challenges in the future, please let me know in the comments below, or also just point out what is your favorite car of those. Also, this challenge is a little bit of a reality check. What can you actually build within 90 minutes? So just also to show you that it's not magic and we're not magically good, we just need time to build really beautiful cars. Still there are a few in there which I think look pretty good for a 90-minute build time. So in the beginning I'll show you a little bit the technical setup. So the insane spreadsheet goodness that helps me to evaluate these cars. Then we take a look at 10 individual stats that will be ranked, and then the final category, the design voting. So let's head right into it. Alright, there we are. After the most heavy migraine attack that I had in all of the year, I've now come back to this a few days later. Imported all of the data that we got. Unfortunately, my build time was cut short by 30 minutes, so obviously I would have done much better if I had the time. But yeah, I've imported all of the data now. It's quite easy, I can show you how I do that. So I have all through the power of spreadsheets, I have some new tabs here where I just import the data from the sandbox database. I use DB browser for SQLite for that, and I imported from the sandbox database the trim results, which has all of the values for drivability and so on. The names for the car I get from the trims and models tables, and therefore I need the UID, and I need to match the UID of the trims table and of the models table, and I consolidate that one big table, and then I can extract all of the values from here, and it basically worked excellently fine except for the cost, because the cost in a table does not match the in-game value, unfortunately. Need to discuss with the devs what's going on there if I'm stupid, but yeah. All of the prices I had to basically import manually, but the rest was done automatically, and it will automatically check against my rules. So everybody has built in the correct design year, everybody except one. I look at you, ToxicNet, has managed to choose the right body. Everybody stayed within the price limit. Almost everybody chose the right fuel. I will be lenient here because I didn't really specify, or I wasn't very clear about if it's RON or AKI. If you choose AKI, you Americans, the 95 RON might actually be 92 AKI, so probably that's okay. Real Hexen 98 is a mistake. But as multiple things went wrong in this stream, I will be lenient, and this was the very first time, and yeah, it's just a fun event anyway. For emissions, everybody was doing very well. I was very surprised about the price and emissions that everybody went through there. And for the seats, yeah, Mr. I don't know and Haha Hovno, they failed to install 3 seats. They just have 2. But yeah, now I can basically go through the individual stats that we are ranking, and I will get an update on the score. Currently everybody is at 0, everybody is in P1, and if I now add a 1 on there, I will import the weight for drivability, and it will pull the stat from the consolidated data tab, and then I get the rank and the score. Basically the score is normalized to 100, so if you're perfect and better than your opposition in all of the tabs, then you are scoring 100 points. And if I just do it now for drivability, you will see how it works. So basically you see that the highest drivability, ToxicNet in this case, gets first place obviously, and because we are normalizing it to 100%, the best player gets 8.4 points, so 8.4% of the maximum score. and then it's just linearly going down. Second place gets half a point less, third place gets half a point less, so that the last place, P17, Hauerhofno, gets exactly 0 points. So it's basically relative to the position. The best one gets full points, and then it goes down to last. It's not about the actual value, because sometimes it might be that everybody has 0 sportiness. So then how do I rank that? Or one person has 0.1 sportiness and the rest all has 0 sportiness. And yeah, how do you rank that? It's not that easy. So I just went for this. P1 gets full points. If you're in the middle, you get half points, and if you're all the way down, you get nothing. So let's sort. We have currently Toxic Net ahead of Real Hexen and Rambo. Yeah, as I said, some of them failed some regulations. I will just say I didn't see that. It's okay for this time, but I also already know the results anyway. It will not make a difference for the top 3. I can already say that. Okay, so then next category. Who has the biggest and therefore best car? 12.6% on that, and if we take a look, then we see that Hauerhofno has the biggest footprint with more than 12,000 something, 128,000 square centimeters probably. On P2 it's the Superwagon by Fuck, and on P3 it's the Estate by Daihatsu, and that gives us a new overall ranking. Fuck ahead of Rambo, ahead of Radio the Man. But everybody is still very close together, at least in the front. So let's directly head on to sportiness. There we have a very low weight, only 2.5, so sportiness was not that important. And probably a few people got screwed there. Especially those scoring well here, obviously. So we have Tainuran, Parked on the Apex, and LXKSP. All scoring well, doing well here, but not really a lot of points contributing to the overall score. So that gives us an unchanged overall order. And then let's go to safety. Here we have 5%, so not so much. P1 for Daihatsu, P2 for Rubberland, and D3 for Hauerhofno. And then let's quickly see what that does to the order. Top 3 still the same. I drop to P7 for now. But I think the sportsman is quite prestigious. Let's see what we have here. Actually, yeah, on P3 in prestige, and we have a 10% weight on this one. So Mr. gets full points, 10.1, and then Rambo and me. But yeah, very close up top there, so a little bit made quite a bit of difference. So that gives us a new order. Rambo, the Fuck, Radio the Man, me, and Daihatsu on the top. And then my big hope, cargo volume. We have 8% here, and I take the crown ahead of Rubberland and Toxic Net. Toxic Net cheating with a pickup truck. You can have unlimited cargo volume if you just stack it on top of each other. Yeah, there I am in P2 already. Excellent. And the absolute beauty, the Daft Adams from Rambo, that one's up there. Yeah, you've already seen the designs before, so we'll get to the voting then in the very end. Then for service costs. Again, we have Hauerhofno on the top, basically either being really good or being really bad in the stats, so very all over the place. Then I take P3 and we have P2 here for Real Hexen, which gives us overall this order. Still, yeah, top 5 are very close to each other. But I think some, at least design will have 20-30% of the score, so it will make quite a difference. So let's add kilometer time. Here we have 5%. And with a Fuck on top with 26.4 seconds. Tied with iCrafted chips actually. No second place then, and third place Tainuran with 26.8, very close, 26.9 Aloha, and I think I should also be somewhere up there. No, I'm only P7, only 2 seconds slower, but that is good enough only for P7. Slowest 34.3 by Real Hexen. And that gives us, oh, sorted the wrong way. The Super Wagon goes into the front ahead of the Sportsvan. Still stays in front, yeah, but it's getting tight. 1.3 points. Actually, Rambo dropped. Yeah, Rambo dropped from the top now, and the fuck went into the lead. Basically, they swapped places. Bit of a distance now already to Mister. But let's see what we have with production units. Again, low is good here. And we have Bafak taking another first place with 53 production units. Very basic car, still doing very well in all of the categories. Then on P2, Alex KSP, and on P3, Aloha. And yeah, the worst ones, 75. Still pretty good, yeah, but just not really there. Did we have any changes? Yes, we have Harovno ahead of Mister now. And there in the midfield we have a lot of changes, obviously. Let's sort the new order. And let's add the last stat that we are scoring, and that's braking distance. And here, the mighty Sportsman takes the crown with 41.2 meters. I don't know why. I think I gave it sports tires, which was not so good for service costs, but still I took P3 there. Doing pretty good. Last place here, almost 60 meters, Daihatsu. Nice. How did you do that? Yeah, P2 here with Toxic Net, and P3 with iCrafted Chips. Ooh, look at that. I'm in the lead. Totally not rigged at all. But yeah, now the important bit, and probably where I failed because I just didn't finish it in time. We have the overall design score. So we had a vote on my Discord, and basically, yeah, I counted how many 5-star ratings, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star we got, and we had around 25 to 30 votes for each car, so it's representative, I'd say. And if we now add the 1 here, and if we import the weight, then we get the final result. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And there we have it. And we had a change for the lead. It's Wafak is the big winner. Let me sort. And from the back of the field, Radio the Man jumps into P3. I go down to P2. Best design overall, Tainorun, but I have to add, they added their file hours after the deadline, and they also said my entry is void. I had just had fun making it more beautiful. So let's just remember Wafak, me, and Radio the Man on top. And now I delete everybody that was failing some things. Tainorun was too late and had fuel issues. So it may change also the points on the very right side now, because we are removing people from the order. So somebody else will take first place, obviously, in design now. So let me do that. Then Toxic Net, wrong body, deleted. Then Alex, wrong fuel, with an asterisk that I maybe wasn't very clear. I just want to show that the top 3 don't change. This one goes away as well. Hofno goes away. Not enough seats. Same for Mr. I don't know. And surprise, top 3 are still the same. So this is the official result. Now with iCrafted Chips up to P6. Let me sort. So a few positions there in the midfield, they still changed, obviously, but yeah, this is the official result. Wafak took 81.8 points here, which is pretty good, 81 from 100, and then we had quite a distance to me, mostly coming from the design. It was very bad. And then Radio the Man with 62. Oh yeah, let me bring everybody back into the table. there they are. So even then, the fuck had a 79 instead of 81.8. So pretty similar still. Alright, so that's it. Let's take the top 3 out for a spin. But first of all, thank you everybody for contributing to this challenge. It was a lot of fun. Next time it goes without migraine, and then it will be even better. But now off to BeamNG, and I will take the Superwagon, the sports van, and the Baraga SS to a quick test. Alright, there we are. We have our top 3. On the left, the fuck with the Superwagon, and then the sports van and the Baraga SS from Radio the Man. Yeah, looking pretty nice. But it looks like somehow either suspension collapsed and also the exhaust fell off. So yeah, it's a bit weird. But let's see what it can do. So we have a huge V6 in here, more than 6 liters with a supercharger. And no grip. Looks like the broken exhaust doesn't really help. It's scraping along the floor. Immediately oversteers like hell. So absolute drift machine, the only thing, looks like the only thing to build a drift machine is just to have a scraping exhaust. But yeah, sound is excellent. Don't hear the supercharger, unfortunately. The Roots supercharger mounted on this one. Yeah, not really drivable with the broken exhaust, unfortunately. Don't know why it fell off, I never had that happen. So maybe let's go there, park it there. So Radio the Man, that's not what everybody should do with your car, of course, but or that I don't mean that the car is crap, but unfortunately not drivable. Let's switch to another car. For example, the sports van. Here we only have a 3-liter inline 6, so total economy engine. Again, the supercharger. And here we hear the supercharger as well. Not a Roots one. And it's actually drivable. Yeah, the exhaust didn't fall off, which is good. And it actually drives. Also pretty well if you're used to driving Cisalpinas. Put a wheel on the grass, still able to recover, of course. Pretty nice, actually. But yeah. Let's switch to the first one. Oh, it's a little bit slimmer now. Slightly bent. And there we are. Again, more than 6 liters, this time proper V8. Again, supercharged. And sounds really nice. Unfortunately, again, we cannot hear the Roots supercharger. And probably the only car that's the proper American one with the V8 here. Oh, slight oversteer. I like that everybody, out the top 3 at least, used solid axle in the rear. So, really appropriate, and they drive like that, no grip at all. And this thing also has a turning circle. That's a bit different. And look, did you see how the front bent up there? So it's really premium comfort technology there. With the bendy chassis, bendy leather frame. If the front hits a bump, you don't even notice it in the rear. Even has an interior, as I see it right now. So well done within that time. So let's bend this chassis some more. Yeah, definitely the weak spot is somewhere in the middle of the wheelbase. Bit soft roof as well. But yeah, made it a bit flatter, better aerodynamics. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you would like to see challenges of these more often, and if you also wanted to participate in those. Because I kinda like the idea of having more challenges, but I'm also super afraid of having too many participants. So this now with 17 participants was very much optimal, but I don't have a good mechanic in my head how I should restrict access in a fair way. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Other than that, that's it for this one, and thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.